Hey y'all, Just Us 1900 coming to you from Full Bladder Recording. That's my home studio. Seen a bunch of people posting videos of their home studios here on YouTube. So I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of my home studio. Here you see I've got my dual Dell 22-inch monitors. I'm running Pro Tools 8. Got that all running over here through my computer down here. That's a Dell Precision T115 with an i7 chip, pretty rocking computer. Got my Glimp 500 gigabyte hard drive sitting on top of that. Then my Ultra drive, which lets me plug almost about any kind of hardware into it. Any kind of hard drive can go in that. Got all that plugged into my Profire, M-Audio Profire 610. That runs over to my system. As you can see, I got a Pro Tools session up right now. Got the M-Audio Axiom 61 keyboard. Over here, I've got my Yamaha speakers. Those are the Yamaha MS50s, I believe, 70 watt power amps. Over here on the wall, I've got my Ibanez AEF18 acoustic electric guitar. That sits over there on the wall. Got a whole bunch of guitars here on the wall. Again, going through, you can see my setup. Got my other speaker here. On top of that, I've got some crappy Sony speakers that I use for monitoring. Those are connected to my Hafler DH200 power amp. Over here, I've got my wall of guitars. Got an acoustic guitar over here in the corner. That's my Fender guitar. Got my 1969 Fender Telecaster thin line. Got my 1994 Fender Stratocaster Squier Series Strat. That one I've kind of customized a little bit, kind of made it like a Hendrix Woodstock Strat. Next to that, I've got my 96 Fender Squier Series Stratocaster sitting on next to that one, the red one. They're all down the wall by age. The Telecaster being the oldest and moving down the line here. Moving down here, I've got my Platinum record. That's a Platinum record I got for doing some work on Lisa Stansfield's Affection album. Really proud of that, glad I got it. Moving over here, another one of my Stratocasters. This is like a 1998 Fender Fat Strat. Got the humbucker in it. Next to that, I've got my 2002 Fender Stratocaster Sunburst with the rosewood neck. That's a really rocking guitar. Love that guitar. Got it. Doesn't have a single nick, anything on it. I hardly ever play it just because it's so perfect. But I love that guitar. Next to that, I've got my 2006 Upgrade Strat. That's the blue Upgrade Strat. It's called an Upgrade Strat because it's got a really big block in the back, which gives it a really good sustain. Then over in the corner, I've got my Fender Jazz Bass. Use that for laying down bass tracks when I'm using regular bass and not synth bass. Then moving down, I've got my baby grand piano. Every studio should have its own baby grand piano. I've got mine sitting in the middle of the room. Right now it needs to be tuned, but I love playing it. It's really great for writing songs. And I just love having it here. Moving over here, you can see I've got a Yamaha DX7 Mark I. I hardly ever play that keyboard. I need to get some more patches for it. But I always wanted a DX7 Mark I, so saw one on eBay and I bought it. Moving down here, I've got my vocal amp. It's really a guitar amp, bass amp. Got it on Craigslist real cheap. Use it mostly for doing vocals when I've got people over here and we're jamming. Then under here, under the DX7, I've got two Yamaha FB01 FM sound generators that's sitting on the Mutu MIDI timepiece. I've got all the MIDI stuff running into that. Over here, I've got the Roland TR626 drum machine. Hardly ever use that because you can't change the drum sounds, so they all sound the same. I mostly just use it when I've got buddies coming over just to jam, get a nice beat going while we're playing something. Under that, I've got the Yamaha TX7, which is basically a DX7 rack mount. So basically, I've got two DX7s in this room. Moving down, this is my little corner over here. I've got my Hafler DH200 power amp, which is running to my Sony speakers. I've got my little cassette player, as you can see. It's jammed over there because I hardly ever play cassette. Sometimes I take stuff and restore it, put it on the Pro Tools. And I've got my toolbox over here. Try to keep things neat in here, so I keep all my cords and stuff in that toolbox. Then over here I've got my headphones. Got some Sony headphones, not very good. Okay, and I got some crappy headphones, just so I've got two sets. Sitting on my mic stand, where I've got my Shure SM58 microphone. Going back around, you can see my setup again. So I got the dual monitors running Pro Tools. Got a song up there right now. Normally what I do is I have it spread out like this when I'm mixing. You can see there. What I normally do is I have the right side as my mix window, left side as my edit window. That way I can see both things as I'm working on a song. Usually when I'm mixing, I go ahead and I just collapse the edit window. And as you can see there, then I've got the mix going across both screens. Now if we move over here to the other side of my studio, go back around here, you can see my guitars, baby grand piano. Down over here I've got a couple more acoustic guitars. Got like a 1975 Nagoya N18 guitar. Got a Yamaha acoustic guitar. On the wall here I've got a Suzuki classical guitar with the gut strings. Hardly ever play that, but you gotta have one in your collection. Moving down next to my guitars here, I've got a couple of guitar amps. You see I've got a little Ibanez amp, and I got a little Fender amp sitting over here. Use those mostly for jamming when I've got friends coming over. Because when I'm recording, I mostly use the Waves GTR or the 11 built into the Pro Tools. As you see over here, I've got my Crate bass amp. Mostly use that when I'm jamming. Got a bunch of mix magazines and electronic music magazines sitting on top of that. And then going back around, there's my Ibanez again. And as you see here, you can see my setup again. I've got a song loaded on here. And you can see I've got it all set up here. If I go ahead and hit play, it'll play the song. We've got a bunch of automation stuff going on. And just try to sit here and do as much music as I can and record. But basically, people, that's pretty much my home recording studio. Again, this is Just Us 1900. Thanks for looking. Hope you guys subscribe, post videos of your recording studios. I'd love to see them. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for visiting Full Bladder Recording. This is Just Us 1900. Talking to you later. Take care. Out.